have been learning about English language. We did some topics of grammar. In today's video lecture, we are going to start with literature. In literature, we have proses, fictions, as well as poetry. So let us start with a very thoughtful, very beautiful poem, and it gives a very spiritual message also. The name of the poem is Govinda's Disciple. Yes, in this poem, Sikh religion's 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji's one incident has been depicted. The poem is written by Rabindranath Tagore. We also call Rabindranath Tagore, he is a great poet, and he is called Gurudev, and he was Bengali, so he had pronounced Guru Gobind as Govinda. Okay, so just because of that language barrier, the pronunciation of the word is here Govinda, Govind to Govinda. Okay, so I will be reading. I would like to clear one thing. Poem is always recited. We can't read a poem, but when I am giving you the explanation, I am reading the lines of the poem. That case, we can see I am reading the poem for you people. Otherwise, poems are always recited. So I am going to start with the recitation of the poem. Side by side I will explain. So, far below flowed the Ganga, quick and clear, above frowned the jutting bank. Hills dark with the wood and scarred with the torrents were gathered around. So in these two lines, the poet has tried to remote the reader. Remote the reader means we are reading this poem, and the poet wants us to transform us from this material world to a world where the saint was sitting, where the thing has happened. So it is, we can also say it is a poetic device called imagery. The poet writes the line very beautifully that it presents the whole image of the surrounding. So Ganga river, near the Ganges, this incident happened, and the water is described. The water was clear, quick, and it was making scars. The water was making scars. Scars means nishan, like scars we are having, cuts and all. So when the hills was getting the water again and again, the water strike was getting strike again and again to the rivers, to the hills. So it put some scars on the hill. Okay, so with the water strokes, such thing happened. And why the hills were dark? The hills were dark because of the foliage, greenery. Now next two lines I am going to read. Govinda, the great teacher, sat on the rock reading scriptures. He was sitting on a rock and he was reading his scriptures. He was totally, he was a perfect embodiment of discipline, and he has taught his disciples also that we should be in discipline. We should not get attached to any materialistic thing. But what happened when Raghunath, his disciple, proud of his wealth, Raghunath was very proud of his wealth. He came and bowed to him and said, "I have bought my poor wealth, unworthy of thy acceptance." He said that he has brought a very, he had bought a gift for Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and he wanted that Guru Gobind Singh Ji should should accept the gift. Here is the word thy, thy, thy. Thy means your acceptance. Thy, your. So, thus saying, he displayed before the teacher a pair of gold bangles studded with costly gems and emeralds. So when he said this, he just displayed his gift. The gift was 2 bangles, and the bangles were having stones, precious gems on that. The master took one of them, twirling it around his finger, and the stones darted shafts of light when he was doing twirling their bangle. So because of the stones, the light was reflecting from there. Suddenly it slipped from his hand and rolled down to the bank into the water. Raghunathan, who was just a few minutes back, he was offering his wealth to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, but now he was very much, panic. He got a panic. He was taken aback that how can Guruji, how could Guruji put the bangle, throw the bangle like this, and he just jumped into the water, and he was panting badly. He was dripping. He was trying, making efforts to find the bangle. So the teacher, what did he do? What did Guru Gobind Singh Ji did? What did Guru Gobind Singh Ji do? The teacher set his eyes upon his book, and the water held and hid what it stole and ran its way. At sunset, Raghunath came back. He begged him to show him the place where it fell. The teacher took the other bangle and threw it into the water, saying, "There it is." So here in this poem, through this poem, Rabindranath Tagore, he has tried to show the discipline of a teacher, of a saint. And who was the saint? Govinda. He was the saint, and he was embodiment of peace, discipline, and he was having a detachment from the world. So he was teaching the same thing to his disciples also. But the disciples, one of the disciples, Raghunath, he was in a trap of wealth. He could not have the detachment feeling from the world. He was showing off his wealth. So like the act of throwing the bangle into the water was a significance, was having a symbol that he should also throw his lust for wealth. I hope you understood this. In the next video lecture, we will be discussing the poetic devices as well as the rhyme scheme of the poem. Thank you and have a nice day.